We asked you guys to send us in some interesting engineering assessments, industry reports, and we got some incredible stuff. And so we're ready to uncover some of those hidden dangers
Yeah.
lurking within these pipelines. And you know what? Turns out the biggest threat to these pipelines might not be what's flowing through them intentionally.
Right?
It might be those unexpected corrosive surprises that can really crash the party.
Yeah, it's so easy to just focus on the obvious, like the oil, the gas, chemical properties. We often overlook is how events upstream at the well level can really impact the pipeline itself.
Okay, so you've piqued my curiosity. So let's break this down a little bit.
Sure.
So you're probably all familiar with the concept of the corrosion triangle. This is the idea that you need the right combination of factors like fluid properties, the pipeline materials, and the operating conditions for corrosion to really take hold.
Yeah.
But it sounds like there might be a missing piece to this puzzle.
Absolutely. Traditional methods often assume a pipeline operates in this a very steady, predictable state.
Right.
But the reality is far more dynamic. It's those unexpected disruptions, those transient events
Okay.
that can create a perfect storm for accelerated corrosion.
Give me an example. What kind of transient event are we talking about here?
Think about a well restart. So imagine a well that has been shut in for a period of time,
Okay.
allowing all sorts of things to settle and accumulate, biomass, sludge, debris, even sulfur. And we call these fugitive fluids, and they can be a real problem.
So it's like the well's taking a nap and all this corrosive crud is just hanging out, waiting to cause trouble?
Exactly. And when that well roars back to life, especially with a high rate surge, all that nasty stuff gets blasted into the pipeline. And this sudden influx can trigger a far more aggressive form of corrosion than what we'd expect from just regular flow.
Okay, so we're not just talking about a slow, gradual process here. This is accelerated corrosion,
Right.
happening much faster than we might anticipate.
Exactly. And what's even more startling is the data that we've uncovered by analyzing 40 years of industry performance.
Oh.
It turns out that these detrimental well startup events with their surge of fugitive fluids are potentially responsible for as much as 80%
Wow.
of historical pipeline failures due to internal corrosion.
80%. That's a huge blind spot in our traditional understanding of pipeline integrity.
It is, and it really highlights the critical need to look beyond just the current state of the pipeline and delve deeper into its history,
Yeah.
especially the behavior of the wells feeding into it.
So knowing the CO2 and H2S content of the fluid is important, but it's not the whole picture.
Right.
We need to understand that entire story, the whole life cycle of the well and the pipeline,
The whole history.
to truly assess the risk of internal corrosion. And that's where the power of data pattern analytics comes in.
Exactly.
So before we were talking about this fascinating connection between behavior,
Yeah.
fugitive fluids, and that risk of accelerated corrosion in these pipelines.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like data pattern analytics is the key to unlocking this mystery.
It really is. By applying these advanced algorithms to decades of industry data, we can start to see patterns and correlations that traditional methods just miss.
Okay.
We're talking about analyzing information about well shut-ins, restart pressures, flow rates, even subtle changes in fluid composition.
So instead of just looking at a snapshot in time,
Right?
we're now able to analyze that entire history of the well and the pipeline.
Precisely. And by connecting those dots, we can identify those high-risk events,
Right.
those well restarts that send that surge of corrosive fugitive fluids into the pipeline.
Okay.
We can pinpoint exactly when and where the greatest threats are likely to occur.
This sounds like a game changer for the industry.
It is.
Instead of just reacting to corrosion after it's already caused some damage, we can start to anticipate it and take proactive steps to mitigate that risk.
Exactly. Imagine knowing that a particular well restart is highly likely to trigger a corrosion event. You can then make informed decisions about picking schedules, inhibitor treatments, or even operational adjustments to minimize the impact.
So this isn't just about preventing pipeline failures.
Right.
It's about optimizing those maintenance strategies and extending the lifespan of these critical assets.
Absolutely. And it all starts with understanding the unique risk profile of each individual pipeline system.
Okay.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution here.
That makes sense. Every pipeline is going to have its own history, its own set of vulnerabilities.
Right.
But with the right data and the right analytical tools, we can start to paint a much clearer picture of those risks.
And that's just the beginning. What's really exciting is the potential to integrate this data-driven approach into a broader quality management system for pipeline integrity.
I'm intrigued. How does quality management fit into this equation?
Think about it. Traditionally, we've relied heavily on checklists and standardized procedures to ensure pipeline integrity.
Right.
But as we've seen, those methods often fall short when it comes to understanding the complex interplay of factors that contribute to internal corrosion.
So you're saying we need to move beyond simply checking boxes and adopt a more holistic approach.
Exactly. A quality management system is all about continuous improvement, about constantly asking questions, analyzing data, and refining our processes to minimize risk and maximize performance.
So it's about shifting our mindset from reacting to problems to proactively preventing them.
Precisely. And that's where the real power of these insights comes in. By integrating data pattern analytics into a robust quality management system, we can create a truly intelligent and adaptive approach to pipeline integrity.
I'm starting to see the big picture here. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we think about and manage pipeline integrity.
Yeah.
Moving from a reactive checklist-driven approach to a proactive data-driven system that anticipates and mitigates risks before they even arise.
That's exactly right. And the benefits go far beyond just preventing failures. We're talking about optimizing maintenance, extending asset life, and ultimately creating a safer and more sustainable pipeline infrastructure for the future.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive into the world of pipeline integrity management. We've uncovered these hidden threats that traditional methods often miss.
Right.
We've explored the power of data analysis and machine learning in mitigating those threats.
Mm-hmm.
And we've learned how crucial it is to build that quality management culture where integrity is everyone's responsibility.
And remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
We hope you've gained some new insights and are feeling inspired to think differently about pipeline integrity management.
I hope so.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the incredible work of Trusted Pipeline Advisor. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.